Greetings, dear friends. Seems to be a few problems here with getting this live session started today. And we're live finally. Welcome. Happy Monday. This is some discombobulating energy today. Welcome to the month of August. This is our weekly session, Mindful Motivation for Mindset Mastery. So with these sessions, I just need to get some pieces away. There's Facebook's giving me some messages here. With these sessions, we're still using the letting go guidance system that I like to use to help us let go of things that are no longer part of who we truly are. We are all on our own path of evolution and becoming more truly who we really are. At the core, I think that that's part of why I think it's so important to just be checking in with you. You know, we all have situations and patterns and paradigms that suit a certain evolutionary stage of us, but then maybe it's time to look at what can you let go of, who are you becoming, are you aligning with your own true core self? And in order to do that, I like to just reflect upon what's happening with the moon, because that's one of the best ways to help guide us to the alignment of who we really are and to just access that inner wisdom. So last week, if you watched the session last week, I was talking about the new moon that we had last week in the sign of Leo. And new moons are all about the darkness, going within you, like really tapping into your own core self. But there's a power. It's Leo season, right? So it's coming into your own strength, your own wisdom, your own confident nature. Now this week, we had that new moon phase, and that was a time to reflect upon your intentions. You're planting some seeds about what you want to create, to manifest, to experience. And now this week's all about taking some steps towards those intentions, like maybe writing things down or planning things out, or maybe envisaging them at a deeper level and starting to take the baby steps towards them. The other thing that's quite a big piece for us this week is that at the end of the week, on Friday, August 5th, we will be having the first quarter phase of the moon in the sign of Scorpio. So this is something to be aware of, because it can create a wee bit of bumpiness emotionally. It can bring up some shadowy aspects of ourselves. So the big key piece to be aware of, number one, is just to be aware of that, is that we could be experiencing a wee bit of a choppy energy in the emotions, and so internal and external. And so if that happens for you, and anything I say triggers you, or you need some more support or guidance or advice, please make sure you reach out. You can put it in the comments below or message me directly, because it's about showing up and being willing to feel your feelings and know that you can pass through them. But it's also having a system for yourself to be checking in on what I like to think of as our 4 pillars of us. So that's checking in with yourself physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. So how does your body feel? And how do you feel emotional? So that's what I'm saying, is that this could be, as we go through this week, maybe things come up. Now, the key piece is, if that does happen, forgiveness is really big here too. So forgiveness of the self, forgiveness of the others. Can you bring in some loving kindness, as opposed to maybe jumping into irritation or frustration or impatience? So if that does happen, it's really important that if those kind of reactions happen, don't be beating yourself up. But as soon as you can, come into your own heart energy. In fact, let's all just do that together right now. Breathe in and just be. This is one of the best ways to stay mindfully motivated to have some mindset mastery. So that's all the piece about the moon. So because this could potentially bring about a wee bit of bumpiness or upsetting emotions, I'm going to draw the letting go guidance card first, and then we'll go to the tarot, and then we'll go to the Doreen Virtue's Healing with the Angels cards. These pieces that I like to bring into these conversations or these sessions for you, they're also supportive of this whole idea that I'm talking to you about mindset mastery. It's about you being the master of your own connection with your head, heart, and higher self. It's always there. However, we just need to take some time to commit ourselves, to dedicate ourselves to showing up for that, to sitting still sometimes, to just listen and get that guidance. And that's why I love to go back to the whole moon phase piece. Oh, and here's what we're going to be working on letting go of is your baggage. So perhaps if there is a bit of emotional volatility or even judgment or even feelings of unforgiveness coming up, maybe you can have a look to see, is this related to something that I've been carrying on my shoulders and it's done? It's time to let it go. So what are you know, the other thing that brings up as I'm thinking into that one is that sometimes we can tend to judge things in the present moment, looking through, and I'm holding my hand up to it's like looking through the filter of something that's not in existence anymore. You know, like it's a fear or an impatience that's based on an outmoded pattern of you or an outmoded way of you looking at how the best way to navigate something is. And so if you're starting to feel triggered at any point during this week, you know, whether you're writing your intentions or starting to take some baby steps towards those bigger visions and goals, then just see, is it because you've got something running or playing in the back of your mind, ruminating, judging, narrating? Maybe it's time to say, I'm going to put that baggage down and tell a different story, rewrite my story, or clean the lens through which I look at what's in front of me. Things of that nature. So as I was riffing on that, I was shuffling tarot cards. So let's see what tarot card will come up. So the tarot card, I think we're going to plant the idea that this is going to help us with those intentions that we started planting the seeds in last week's new moon in the sign of Leo. Now we're going to be starting to take action to maybe fine tune those intentions. And then, like I say, at the end of the week, we're going to be going through that first quarter phase of the moon in Scorpio. So let's see what tarot wisdom comes up for us. Oh, this is perfect. It's the Fool. You know, I have a very, very loving relationship with that card in the tarot. It's one of my favorites. The Fool is all about new beginnings, about trust, about really focusing on what is the truth for me, what is my unique gift, my thing that lights me up, my creative nature, and what can I do to just move forward with trust. So that actually really brings up that thing that I said about the first quarter phase of the moon in Scorpio. Really is about forgiveness, about allowing space to be given for any shadowy aspects of ourselves, and just it's not to get into woulda, coulda, shoulda, or any of those kind of conversations, because it's part of us. But the Fool then says, it's part of me. I can trust my reactions. I can always trust and go back to loving kindness. There's a sense of play, a sense of connection. And the big thing is that trust. When we can operate from a sense of loving kindness and forgiveness for self and forgiveness for everything and everyone around us, then we can actually all access that inner wisdom, that calming energy that's always there for us. It's just sometimes we get too much in that chattering, crazy making thinking. So big, beautiful and big way to start a new month. We're on August 1st already. So saying all that, let's see what 3 Healing with the Angels cards come up with us for us. This is perfect. The first one is healing. I love that. So maybe some of the intentions or seeds that you planted last week with that new moon was about healing physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. But to keep focusing on that. Everything that we do is bringing more of us home to ourself, home to our own uniqueness, home to what it is we are here in this life to experience, to share, to be, etc. Now, as we start aligning with those intentions, could you make yourself the focus of your own new love? But also, could you maybe start embracing those shadowy aspects within you or around you, or how you see things? Could you start bringing them into your own unconditional loving nature? And above all, keep coming back to serenity. So serenity would be the confirmation to you that you're moving through, if there is anything that comes up, like I said, later this week or any point during this week, could be a potential to just alert you to things that you need to let go of. I hope all this makes sense. I trust that this makes sense to you, and I wish you a beautiful week ahead. Like I said, if you need any support, any guidance, any other information on this whole idea of mindset mastery, mindfully motivating you to master your own mindset. Thanks for watching. I wish you a beautiful week ahead, and I'll be back here again with you next week. Much love.